Okay, welcome. Sorry, my fault for holding us up, but I'm here now. Yay. Okay. Hi, I'm Mary. Check-ins. Let's do check-ins. I'm feeling discombobulated, but that's nothing new. So we're good. We're here. That's what matters. I showed up. You guys showed up. That's cool. I'm good. Who wants to go next? Ethan?
I am Ethan.
Yeah.
I am feeling a little focused on some work thing that's due today, my day job, and feeling some goodness about it. I just had some food that feels good because I was crazy hungry. Um, and yeah, had a nice birthday yesterday. Ending at a fancy cocktail bar overlooking Kansas City, and then having some really weird fancy cocktails, and then going to a super greasy late night like spot for burgers and tots. It's delightful.
Nice. Very cool. Keely?
I um yeah, I had a great birthday. I had fun celebrate. My family came up on Saturday, so I got to spend time with my family. Sunday was spent doing fun things around the city. Went to this really great Peruvian restaurant and sat on the rooftop, and it was just lovely. Got cool gifts, including some really nerdy ones. Like I got a Star Trek medical tricorder,
Ooh.
officially licensed. It was so great. Um, and then got to play pinball and hang out with people in the evening and count down till midnight. And then on Friday, or no, the day was Monday. Yesterday was Monday. Um, I got to go to this really lovely brunch spot and then go shopping and then get my hair done. And then my partner surprised me with a photo shoot. And that was so much fun. So I got to do a photo shoot for my birthday. And then after I was done with that, I had my favorite meal and I got to curl up and watch Star Trek and cuddle my dog and cuddle my partner. And a bunch of friends had arranged to do a thing called Tribute. And so it's like, I guess, a program that you send, like a link you send to a bunch of people, and then they can record a little video. And so I had like an hour-long video of people just like telling me happy birthday and sharing like their favorite memory or something or how much they love me, and was just like sobbing, just sobs in the best way. And so that was my birthday. It was great.
That's awesome. Hmm. Thank you. Cassie.
Hey, I'm just trying to find focus, and getting the new cuddle space together. It's awesome, and I'm spending way too much money on stuff. Uh, but some good things are happening, and we're building that, and it's trying to find that balance between the money that I need to make now to pay the bills, because I still have to do the other stuff until this is up and running and doing things. So it's just trying to find balance, but working with some great people and having a good time.
Nice. Thank you. Davika?
Hold on just a second.
Okay.
Um, I am fine. I'm doing okay. I am dealing with some of the revelation of strategies and things that I've put into place that when I didn't know that I was autistic. And there's just some grief. And sometimes I'm really mad. Like really, really mad. And I just been really, really dealing with that. And I don't think Right. Like I think being Black and dealing with white people and being a woman and doing it with men and then being queer and then doing it for straight people, it's just like one more layer of just being fucking tired.
Mm.
And I'm tired of doing it anymore. And I don't know, something broke this week where I'm just like, I'm not doing this. If you don't, okay, neurotypicals, if the world is slanted in your favor and you still don't understand people, maybe we're not the problem. Maybe it's not us. Maybe it's not us. Maybe there's something else going on. So just really taking that on and dealing with that and, giving myself the grace to go through the process, which is a late date self-diagnosis. And reflecting back to all the times where my friends were like, have you considered, and you might be, and now having to go back and be like, damn it, they were right. And so I'm just dealing with that. And other than that, my personal life, that's my parenting. So I am the parent of a high school student. I am, a few weeks ago, I could not say the word together. So I'm getting better. And, things are okay. I'm focusing on the Cuddle Suture right now. And I'm really excited about what the DICT is doing. We keep running into staffing setbacks, like the William thing is a staffing setback. But other than that, I think I'm very proud of the progress that we're making. And I just look forward to what's next. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with.
I'm honored to be part of your journey.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very interesting. Because it's like, and I'm, having a kiddo who's autistic, it kind of maps on, but yeah, still very, very, it's a lot of work. Like the typical world, the way it's set up, it's very demanding. It's very taxing. People are tired because the demands of neurotypicality are a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah.
I think we should just redo it and let the neurotypical Black trans people with disabilities rebuild our society. And I think they will put it back together in a way that has freedom and ease for everyone.
I'm in favor of trying that.
Because this neurotypical wipes, this hetero man shit is for the fucking birds.
Yeah. We're doing what we can. That's why we're here, right? And I'm glad you're with us. So.
We're here. Thank you. So yes, that is my.
Thanks, Davika.
You're welcome.
All right. So we got everybody, right? We hear from? Okay, cool. Okay, so let's go through like what we talked about last month, just real quick. I did report that Stripe had suspended our account, but now it has been resolved, so we are back in with Stripe. So that's the report on that. And then I mentioned that we need to be better at watching our donations and giving acknowledgements for people that donate. And I followed through with that and I assigned it to our bookkeeper, Nicole. So that is the follow-up on that. We decided last month to pay Jen's company $12.50, and that's on the agenda for today to talk about next month. And then we were talking about the IT project of cleaning up our Google Drives, but William was leading that, so I think that'll probably go on hold. And we talked about the newsletter that was in the works, and there's an outline for that, but hopefully maybe Cassie can tell us where the status is at the moment since everyone's stepping back. And then we talked about our training projects. So that's, I think, what we're going to talk about mostly today is our training stuff. So that's the quick recap of last month. Does anybody have any questions from last month?
Yeah, the DIC is still also waiting for a response. We'd asked for a response about like our pay structure so that we could include that in the catalog, and also to include like where we're at as far as building an ongoing like recertification. We'd like to touch base about that.
Yeah, I have that on the agenda for today. I was hoping we could discuss it today.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay, perfect.
cool. But I have you at the end of the agenda again today, Davika, so you can take up all the remaining time once we get through everything else, which it's pretty short though this week. So we still have our DIC team is meeting Wednesday mornings, and then you have your sub teams have a meeting schedule. Is that correct? Meeting schedules, sorry, topic meeting schedules. And then I am still doing the working group meetings. We've brought in a couple of new volunteers, so those are open to new people or whoever shows up. If you have that hour free, I usually have some little tasks that I can use it help with, or we'll figure out what you guys need help with. If you want to come to those on Tuesdays, you are invited. I am gonna just do it by email now. I'm not gonna send the calendar invite because a lot of people were complaining that everyone can see my email on the calendar invite. So people can join if they want to, but if you do hum regularly, I can add you to the calendar invite if you want, but you let me know. And then the IT team has been meeting on Thursday evenings, although I've missed a couple. And those are the meetings that are on at the moment that I'm aware of. Is there anything else? And just the monthly
We've
board
got
meeting,
our-
obviously.
Yeah, the inclusion team meets weekly.
Okay, do you want to
Yes, sir.
include that on here? Inclusion team, what's your schedule?
Yeah, we meet every Tuesday at it's 11:30 Central. So I don't know what time y'all use.
Okay,
But
great,
it's 11:30 to 12:30 Central.
perfect.
And we're bringing on it's me and Autumn in that team in specific, and we've got 3 potentials that we're gonna bring on next week, I think.
That's fabulous. And as far as bringing on volunteers, I'd say my recommendation, but I'm open to hearing what you guys think, is to work with them, for a while, 3 months, maybe a quarter, and then see how they're doing. And then if you feel like they're going to be around and need access to our files and stuff, then we can get them a Cuddle Party email and access and everything at that point. But I kind of want to see if people are going to be around, they're really going to follow through, and that we really are in alignment with the work that they're offering before we give them access to everything. But that's kind of how I feel.
Is anyone working on, or did I miss, do we have like a volunteer brief, like onboarding packet, PDF flyer, just?
Yeah, I kind of have it. Jennifer did develop something that I haven't gone through completely, but I have a checklist as well that I've been using when I onboard people. So yeah, it's there. We just need to get familiar with it. I can find that and send it to everybody if you guys are interested.
I love
Yes,
that.
please.
You want to see what we have? Okay. Yeah, I want to look at that anyway. That was on my list. I'll just send it to the whole board and you guys can see what it is. That ties into one of my other topics of I want to start doing the interviews again because I think that will bring people in. And I want to see where people are at too. I wanted people to know that we're thinking about them and check in with folks. So I think I'm going to open that up again.
Well, I'm definitely
Yeah.
curious to see who is still, because we don't have a lot of events on the Cuddle Party website, and would really like to know who's still active and who's actually hosting events and things like that, and get
Does
them
Yoni
over.
put his on there?
I haven't
No.
seen any Yonis, no.
I think since it switched over to the new process, there are some, I think we just some people don't look at it. I know we've announced it multiple times, but I think he's still hammering home, or even doing a Loom. You guys know Loom? Loom or Scribe, either one of those two, if you get a free version of them, it is a just a tool. So Loom, the free version, allows you to make 5 minutes and less little instructional videos. It shows what you're doing on your computer. It has your little face down in the corner as you are creating an instructional video. And then Scribe, you get something like 30 free ones or something. But Scribe will be a plugin that if you start on something and then press start on Scribe, every action you do from then until you press stop is recorded in a step-by-step list.
Oh, that's cool. So it's
And
so
it
chalks it up.
automatically, with its AI and with whatever, like it says, then like generates that a to-do or like an instructional thing of first click here, and then includes a screenshot of where you clicked, and then click here, and then include this or say that, and like it does it for you as you're doing the task. So
Cool.
either of those two resources could be really lovely to create and put out for people, like, hey, this is how you create a new event. And then you've got the video and or the Scribe, the Loom and or the Scribe, to send people, and like keep sending that to people, because I think that there is a little bit more of a barrier of entry, because before it was automatically like you just create your event and then the website had it, you know? And so
Right.
for people who don't
Yeah.
pay a ton of attention to Cuddle Party, they may not realize that that isn't happening anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't aware.
And I wonder
So-
if we could, I don't know if we have capacity for this, so nix this if this is not something that we have any capacity for. I wonder if temporarily, while people are getting used to it, be like, hey, if you want your events to be listed and you don't have the time or process or whatever, since we are having a few more volunteers, I wonder if a volunteer task might be like, hey, here's this email that someone sent us. Like we could tell our facilitators, send us in your an event link. You send us in your event link and we'll create it for you in this temporary period, and then have a volunteer just put it in there. Because if it is a matter of just the time it takes to do the task, that could be a way to utilize those folks.
That's a
Here.
good idea.
I wonder if is there a way to get back to automating like we had it before, where things can be grabbed?
Not that I'm aware.
Yeah, I trusted you guys when you said you had gone through everything with Eventbrite to try to work it out, and it wasn't working. So I didn't even research that. So I was like, I know there's a different way we can do this. Yeah, so that Eventbrite solution just didn't work for us anymore. And
Yeah.
you know, I like this one better because you can use any platform. So
people were really
whatever.
frustrated with having to
Yeah.
use Eventbrite because of all the fees and things. So.
Right, exactly. And or no platform at all. You could have people just register through an email address or something. You don't have to have another platform.
And what is our policy on posting there? Is it Cuddle Party only, or is it other events that follow similar rules?
Other events that meet the Cuddle Party vision are allowed. Like, for instance, my community has a coffee meetup to talk about Cuddle Party. It's like a cuddle and a coffee or something.
So cuddle related, but
chat with a cuddler. Yeah, cuddle related, like supporting Cuddle Party directly kind of events. Like the training events and yeah. So you can have a social event, you can have a training. Like if I don't know if I did it, but it needs to be kind of Cuddle Party connected. And there are guidelines on there of these are the things that we can post here. So I do have all the working group meetings and the board meetings posted there too. So people know that we're doing stuff and they're invited. So, and we have the facilitator peer call that Scobie's leading once a month now is in there. So yeah, there's definitely stuff happening on the calendar, but yeah, we need more. So Cassie, were you able to look into the constant contact list? Did you look at that? Did you see if there was anything there?
Me?
Our email list server? Yeah, Cassie.
I have not had a chance to like really dive into that, and I will add
That's
that
fine.
here.
I just wondered if you had gone down that road yet. That's okay. Sorry, tangent. Yeah, That's a great idea, Keely. I will look into those. I did create a video and it's on our YouTube channel now of this is how you enter an event. And I posted it on the Facebook page. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's too
Hell yeah.
long. It's too long. I need to do a pared down quick version.
And
At least I got
and
something.
and
Mhm.
what I can do is go on Meetup and go on Eventbrite and some of the other places and just search, see who's posting
Smart.
and reach
That'll be
out.
great.
Number one, to make
Yeah.
sure that they're actually certified if they're using Cuddle Party, but also just to invite them to make sure they post to the website.
Oh, that'd be fantastic if you had capacity for that, Cassie. Yeah. And you can point them to that video. And I am going to look into this Loom and Scribe and see, it doesn't hurt to have these things on different platforms. And
Mhm.
so, yeah.
And they're pretty easy
Great.
because they're just plugins to your Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just show up
And
in the
there
top
is
corner and it's great.
there is capacity in this event calendar that we could buy the extra version that allows you to do registrations through it. People want that. I didn't want to start there, but if that's something people want, they could use our platform exclusively if they wanted, and it could take registrations. I think it's not very expensive. It's like $50 a year or something. So,
Oh, well, yeah.
And then what
so
are
it's
the
a
fees?
possibility.
What are the fees for the registrations? Or do you take payments or just the registrations?
It doesn't take payments, it just takes registrations. So you'd have to take payments still, whatever way you do it, through Venmo or PayPal or whatever.
Mhm.
Set that up separately. Yeah. But it could record names and have a list of people for you.
Well, that sounds like it'd be reasonable, but something that we
Yeah.
can offer people.
I feel like especially
Well-
if it'd be nice to have it if people are like at the checkout asking for donations, but even if they had to register through a thing and there was just like a little like, support Cuddle Party by donating or something, it just like it
Ooh.
connects individual events to the organization.
Mm-hmm. That's
Right,
smart.
yeah. Yeah.
Because if we could have like a little like a banner on the side or whatever it is, like when they register, there's also donate to Cuddle Party. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let me look into that.
Smart.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I really do want to encourage people to be using our calendar on the website. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Speaking of donations, I did get the expense report from last year's on the donation page, so you can see where we spent all the money last year.
Cool.
And I started a new donation campaign. I haven't even looked at it recently. I don't even know if we've got anything in since I started it. Let me look. Just out of curiosity.
And I wonder if we could run a little contest with our facilitators. If you raise the most from your community, you get something.
Mm,
Oh, that'd be cute. Like a Cuddle Party t-shirt or a Cuddle Party blanket or something. Just like something cute and little.
that'd be
Yeah.
awesome if we could. Yeah, you think?
We need
We
to
could
come up with
use,
merch,
we
but
don't
yeah.
have any merch, and merch
We don't have
isn't,
merch.
but like if we did a free version of either Threadless, which is a good one, or Teespring. Teespring was having problems for a while, but I guess they finally figured that shit out. It was like 6
Okay,
months of
good.
problems.
Yeah.
Threadless gives us a much higher percentage of the
Okay.
profits. Teespring has a slightly better like interface. It's just a little bit easier to use and like search and stuff, but I think Threadless is a great option. Cuddlist uses Threadless. So if we wanted to have a couple of like a little bit of merch that's like Cuddle Party, like no one wants to cuddle in a puddle, or like things like that, like we could have different, like my favorite rule is, well, we could have a whole line of little
Love
cute
it.
merch, and then it just
Mhm.
sits there. And if we want to advertise it, cool. Then it's drop ship. We don't have to maintain it. We could do a little bit of extra cash periodically.
Does anybody
Unless we
want
like,
to help put that together? I actually like doing that kind of thing. I'll probably do it on the working call next Tuesday. If that's what we want. What do you guys think?
I'm
And we
happy to consult and answer a couple questions. I don't have capacity with all the stuff I'm doing on the inclusion team to take it on as a project.
Sure. Okay. I love what you just said though. So you guys have ideas like what you just did? If you guys could like just drop that in an email to me, that'd be awesome. Take it a minute. That would be amazing. But I like doing merch. That would be fun. I'll look at Threadless. That's cool.
People like
Yeah,
it,
Yeah. What?
it's a much
Ethan?
higher.
especially if people like it and it, it's
Mhm.
easy. It's kind of like a do one time and
Yeah.
I'll show you if you are interested very briefly. Cuddlist's expanded merch if you're interested, because we've done a bunch of like little simple graphic designs that are generic enough that like enthusiasts can also participate. So we're not just targeting toward practitioners or in our case
Right.
facilitators. We can do anyone
Mhm.
who thinks that this stuff is cool or any of the enthusiasts. So if you want me to show you that, I'm
Yeah.
happy to.
I bought a bunch of it.
You did, love, and I love your space.
That's awesome. Can you just send the link? I don't know that we want to take up the time here, but I do want to look at it. So yeah, if you could share the link, I really would like to look at it.
My only comment is, and I don't know how you would get this, you do need to be, people need to really read the sizing on the blankets.
Mm,
Because the one that I ordered ended up being a baby blanket, not a
Oh,
not a
gosh.
throw blanket.
mm. Cool. Thanks, Keely. Yeah. Yeah, that's something I could do. I actually enjoy that. So that'll be fun.
Mhm.
My only hesitation, I've been actually meaning to talk to you guys about this. I don't like our branding and our colors. How do you guys feel about it?
The like
I mean, I
sort
don't,
of pastel pinks and
yeah, the
those.
pinks and burgundies and stuff.
I know we paid a lot of money for that rebrand.
Mhm,
Because before it was like the bright, almost
The
primary
kid
colors
thing,
that looked very like it looked very little kid. It
playground.
looked very like
Yeah,
elementary school advertisement,
right.
right? And so
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was supposed to mature it up, and I think that they did some market research and some branding research around it.
Mhm,
I
yeah.
think there's potential with them. I think there's definitely
Okay.
potential with this kind of with our color scheme.
Mhm,
I know it can be limiting, but I also think that like if we use our branded colors with a black or a white background or a neutral background, we can make some things pop a little bit more, even if
yeah,
we're not just like in our traditional color scheme. So I think
yeah.
we've got some options, and I wouldn't want to do a full rebrand. Uh,
We don't have
I'm open to being
capacity.
wrong.
Yeah, I feel like we don't have capacity for a full rebrand right now, but I just kind of wanted to hear from you guys. Like, if you guys all love it, I'm just gonna drop it. But a year out, maybe I kind of would like to look at maybe doing a rebrand when we have our new training to launch or something like that. But I don't know. Do you guys love the branding and the colors?
I'll say I enjoy it. I think if we
Okay.
wanted to tweak it, like maybe add
Mhm.
some accent colors that like branched off in a little bit of a different direction, I'd be super down for that. But I do like what I find about the muted tones, like the
Mhm.
mauves and stuff, they lend really well to fall tones, and I like fall tones in terms of like professionalism in branding. I think
Yeah.
fall
Okay.
tones have a lot of like what we're trying to convey is professionalism, but softness and approachability. And I think it does emotionally evoke a lot of that. So if we wanted to do some like again more interesting like color palette accent colors, totally
Mm.
into it to like maybe
Mhm.
punch it up a little bit, but the professionalism of it I like.
Okay.
Mary, what
Cassie?
about it don't you like?
Davika?
Oh, sorry. Sorry,
Oh,
Mary, what
sorry,
about it?
Davika.
It's okay. My
Um,
internet died earlier, so yeah, I'm struggling with whatever. So yeah. So what
okay.
don't you like about it?
I don't like that it's red tones. I think it should be cool colors. That's my biggest problem with it.
Okay, cool.
Um,
So
yeah.
here's what I would say, right? Like
Mhm.
I hear
Yeah.
everything that everybody is saying, and um, I think that between Threadless and all the things I've heard mentioned here, um, I don't know that we like the going out of it, right? Like the website of it and the things like that of it. I think those could probably be the same. But if you were thinking like changing the logo and changing the color, I don't know that that would be a whole lot of well-used time.
Yeah.
But I
no, we
think if
can't do
you're
it right now.
talking, yeah, I was thinking if you're thinking like a sea green or a blue or something like that, maybe something that stereotypically, and I mean very stereotypically, attracts men and the stronger tones and things like that. Maybe, but I would have to see it first. Because I think what we're dealing with is this is way better than we had. Like what we had was, like you guys said, elementary and childlike. So I think
Yeah.
it's a matter of maybe you proposing something that maybe isn't a big deal, but still offers what, you know, some context for what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe if we did that, like maybe if you just kind of did a mock-up of what it is
Okay.
that you're doing, maybe that would give
Yeah.
us some space to choose from.
Sure. I just want to get a feeling from you guys. Ethan, do you
I'm
have
not,
a, yeah.
no,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
not
sorry, did it
moved
go?
either way. Yeah, I'm not moved, but like it's gotta go. Like I don't have that kind of experience.
Okay. Thank you.
And you're welcome. I'm complete.
Thank you.
I do not have a particular thought about it.
That's fine.
I
This is just a
definitely,
quick touch
yeah,
base.
yeah.
I actually didn't even have this on the agenda for today.
It definitely has stuck
Yeah,
out
we
to me
probably
as
should move
anything,
on.
as anything troublesome. Like I remember what it was before.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very soft.
Yeah.
I
I
like
think
it,
it
but
achieved what they were trying to achieve, definitely, at the time,
yeah,
so.
I would
yeah.
maybe say like the red is a lot. Like if I'm looking at the site, I really like it. But if I'm looking at like just that red and cuddle, I don't know. That's all I got.
Okay, thanks. Kathy, you here?
Mr. Fred, what's up, audio?
You have a feeling? Cassie?
Don't have a whole lot to add. I mean,
Okay, cool.
I agree with you. I think the color scheme is too muted, but
Mm.
I don't know that it's on top priority right now.
Oh, no, it's not a priority. Sorry. I'm sorry that took too long to go down that road. I just want to see if you guys feel the same way I did, which it sounds like you don't, so I'm fine. All right. Fractal growth. So our balance, our current balance is about $3,400. So I talked to Jen and I said, and she has said that we can put off paying for July until the July board meeting and see if we have any other income by then to pay them. So that's a week into July, we would pay them for July, which usually we pay right at the start of the month. And I'm okay with that. Let's find out in real time how much money we actually have in that moment, because right now we'd be, if we decide now we're committing in 3 weeks to pay whatever we pay for July. So and just so you have context of what they are working on, Jen is primarily working on the organizer training. She is still managing some admin stuff for us, but I can cover that. And Marianne is offering me some coaching sessions on how to run a nonprofit and things like that, how to be a board president and stuff. So that's where the money that we paid for through the end of June is paying for right now. So are you guys okay with that choice to kind of defer that and see what we can have them be doing in July?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, making sure I understand. Right now, shush. Did you hear my dog?
I did. Yeah. It's all good.
We're voting to approve the June spending. Yeah?
No, we've already approved, we've already paid for June. We paid through the end of June. Yeah, so we're talking about July.
And so we're voting to defer that until July's meeting. And then on July's meeting, we will decide at that point how much money we have. And then at that point, you can say, we're not going to do this, or we've got enough and we want to do this. Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm
got it.
asking, exactly. Since we are
Good with that.
so low, it's yeah, that's below my comfort level. And I don't really want to advertise too much right now when we're talking about doing all these these training updates of offerings we're going to be giving out pretty soon. So I don't really see that number changing a lot. It's just word of mouth of whoever shows up to sign up at the moment. And I did have some ideas for fundraising, but that's not coming off the ground either. So that was my next line item to talk about fundraising. But it sounds like, but we're all okay with deferring till July. We good?
Okay.
Okay, all right, sounds good, cool.
And I wonder if
Cassie.
down the road, there, not now, but down the road, if maybe we can create something like Cuddlist has with the membership for their facilitators, so that you've got that monthly income coming in. We're creating value for those facilitators, but also there needs to be an exchange, I think, with facilitators. And the thing that unfortunately cuddle parties set themselves up to not be sustainable. If the only thing that is creating income for us is classes, and we're not doing any kind of monitoring of the facilitators, there's a disconnect there.
I agree. We have discussed that in the past. Keely, do you have any insight about what has been discussed on that? Can you share?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I was talking to Autumn today during our inclusion meeting, and Autumn said this exact same thing unprompted. It's like, yeah, I think we can start with it being a really basic package, even if it's just like $20 a month, or less than that, and be like, hey, this is the price of ongoing, like maybe it's one of your ticket sales in this month or blah blah blah. And then we can maybe have a premium membership later and do what that includes or entails in monthly, and maybe that could be higher. But I think it would be very easy for us to send out an invitation to every one of the facilitators to say, we are going to start a membership model or a subscription based model. Here is the price, here's what you get. And I think that for signing on, we would give them, like, we could come up with a bunch of perks. Like, we're going to explicitly advertise for your stuff on a schedule, and a rotating schedule. And then that's also a marketing push for us, just like visibility. And we're going to provide you, like, we create in our Canva a bunch of templates, like marketing products that are plug and chug for us, because we just put the facilitator's name and picture in. But we're also going to give you this marketing packet once you immediately subscribe. Like, give all these incentives for just starting off the monthly subscription, and get people shuttled over to that. I think it's a great idea. Davika also has her hand.
Yep.
Davika?
I think this is also a space where the dicks could be of service, in the way, like, so that we, like, if they don't want to take on, like, you know, classes or whatever, because the classes are only going to provide so much, but the dict, and like with Keely and myself, and, you know, being highly trained in coaching and in restorative justice, like, one of the packages might be, you know, we get a kickback on that, but like a portion of that, and then we donate some of our, not donate, but give some of our time to coaching time to Cuddle Party at a lower rate. So then the facilitators can come and get coached. Like, hey, I had this, or I got triggered, or I did this, or I'm having this breakdown. I'm confronted by this. This is where my business is not going. And then they get like either one-on-one coaching, or maybe, you know, Keely and I and whoever else is, you know, considers themselves a coach, can get together and we do group coaching, or we do like that kind of work. And it's easy to fold what we're doing with the dict into our catalog, and this kind of goes into the pay structure, that if they are on a subscription, maybe they get to have a certain number of classes and workshops outside of coaching. Maybe they get unlimited, like they get to go to a bunch of them, and that's just part of their subscription as well. Whereas if they don't have the subscription, they'd have to pay a higher price or piecemeal it. And I think that we could definitely, that is something we could just roll into our catalog and into our already existing structure. And I'm looking at Keely and they're saying yes. And I think that with our background, that would be just something we could create. Like, I think we could, I don't think it's much of a stretch. I think it's just how we would put our stuff in. Keely, I'm gonna check in with you first, because I just spoke on behalf of the team without conferring with the team.
Yeah, I'm
So-
down for that. The offerings that I would be down for are like, so my mentor, if someone comes and asks for a mentoring call, it's $100 an hour. And so I'm happy to provide Cuddle Party members, Cuddle Party facilitator members, half price for one-on-one. So it would be $50 an hour. And I'm also happy to provide an hour, 1 hour per month at a fee of $100 to Cuddle Party. And so like, if everyone in a certain subscription tier wanted to have access to that, like say you get so many subscribers and you're like, okay, well, you also get access to a once a month group support call with this tier. And as long as I get my $100 for that 1 hour, the rest of the profit or whatever goes to Cuddle Party.
Yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm a little pricier than Keely, but I'm also, I think, a little bit more specialized, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
But
I would also be billing Cuddle
Right,
Party at a
Party.
different rate for my taxes, so I could write it off as a donation.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm like trying to balance the, like, where's my benefit, where's the accessibility, where's the donation. That's how I would do it.
Right. Yeah. And I think that, you know, would be a great, you know, I'm down for something like that. I don't know if anybody else is down for something like that, but I'm definitely down, especially as I'm going towards my ICF certification and different things like that. I'm definitely down for that as a subscription and part of the tier. I'm also doing that. The part of the reason I brought it up is because I'm doing the same thing over on my personal side, right? Like moving to that and then offering that same service to the other organizations that I work with. So that's just a way that's just no reason to do things twice, right? Just do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And I don't
There
want
you
to
go.
derail the agenda here, but I just think that there's more that we could do to offer value for our facilitators so that they stay connected with us. And on the other hand, so that we're paying attention to what's going on with them and they're getting updates that they need and all that kind of stuff.
And in the subscription model, if we do decide to just change it, what I think, not only are we going to give them like a packet of things, here's all the things that you get for joining a subscription. I think also just having a list, and probably also on the website, of like, here is where your subscription money goes to providing you. We're providing you with the staff to do business to business networking. We're providing you with training, auditing, so that we're keeping up to date on the most current and valuable and up to speed information that in your training programs. And just like listing all, we're keeping our operations up and running so that the site can constantly improve, and so that we can use our resources to post your events, and like just listing out all of the different things. Like, this is what your subscription pays for.
And have a paid staff so that we can have consistency in the organization.
That part. And then, you know, and not only that, but, you know, and doing comparison. I love what Keely is saying, right? And not only here's what it goes towards, but here's what it would cost you outside of that subscription to get this kind of training outside of that subscription. Here's what you would pay. But you're getting all of that in one spot, in one space, and, you know, inside of shared community.
Yeah. I apologize. I got to transition to my phone to get on the road. So I'm going to disappear here and then I'll be on my phone, Mary.
Okay. Thanks, Cassie. Well, yeah, great ideas. I'm gonna be fully transparent that that's not where my heart is right now, so I would not lead that effort, but I'm fully open to hearing a group, but work
Well,
on
I think
that proposal and come back to the board with it.
that answers, I mean, I think, with Keely being here, I don't know, Les would be the only other person, but we would be
Yeah.
2 out of 3 if we align to just take that back and, like I said, use that with the DICT. And then to start to show what we can offer, and then, because we would be the ones probably generating that offer. So if it's going to be Keely and I anyway, so I think, Keely, do you align to take this on and, share that and either work on it separately on you and I on offline, or take it to the DICT?
When you say take this project, do you mean the entire subscription model?
I mean, well, the pricing and the stuff like that, at least to have some kind of, because we're going to be playing with the pricing anyway.
I was gonna say
So
this
So
might
creating
roll
a
in-
proposal. Creating a
Yeah.
proposal, not necessarily executing everything.
Creating a proposal, right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and this is, I'm thinking this could line up with what you wanted to talk about anyway, Davika, like you just said, so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to get a proposal and discuss it a little further. Um.
Can I,
With Kathy,
Throw something in?
Ethan? Sure.
One, I like the idea a lot. My brain is not holding on to who is saying what right now. I'm pretty sure you said everything to start, Davika, and then Keely responded to it. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. My brain is not focusing right now. I think it's maybe one of like the higher level things that I've heard us talk about in terms of being able to intake money. For a few reasons. One, I think Keely, for example, has potentially the most specific to cuddle party cuddling that of anybody that I can really think of, and in terms of the hours actually doing the work. Not to mention that I think there probably are a lot of people that might like come out of the woodworks that are comfortable offering an hour or two a month without pay, and just like being like, oh, that's my volunteer. I just meet with somebody one-on-one to talk about something they're struggling with in their practice. And I just do that once a month, and they feel really good about their hour they gave, because a lot of people just kind of want that interaction sometimes anyway. And so if we and then listing that as a service that pay a subscription for, I just think it's I just like the idea, because I think we could also say, hey, let's just create like a free thing where we pair people up, where if you want to chat about something you're going through, we just pair you up. And if we kind of just frame it like you're gifting an hour of coaching and you're paying like a little bit on top of your income that you're doing for facilitating, to have that, I just think it's like an awesome way that everyone could feel really good about a thing that like could happen anyway. And I just think it's a cool idea. I don't feel like I have a lot of bandwidth by way of organizing, but like I could for sure say now I would offer an hour a month for free for now, and then I'd try it and see how it felt. Just even start.
Well, I
Cool
think what you're speaking to is more like peer mentoring or committed colleagues or something in that realm. And I think that could definitely be an offering. Yeah, I would, though, if you want to offer that for free, that's fine, but I would hesitate to bring what I'm talking about with Keely and I and the committed colleague, because I'm more talking about Keely and I, or whoever would be interested in actually coaching that person. And that's a little different than pairing up and supporting each other. Just slightly different.
I hear that.
Yeah, but I think that would be, I think peer support, one-on-one peer support, like we would take the time to match people up and things like that. I think that would be a pretty awesome offering.
I think some of what I at least was thinking was that there could be a slew of qualified
Mhm.
coaches
Okay.
that could find their way into a volunteer, not to say that they shouldn't also be paid for their service necessarily, just like I think, yeah, I
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think different flavors of that model. I was not trying to say that like anybody could come do everything that you were offering in that moment. I was not meaning to imply that.
Yeah, I would definitely, that's why I think Keely's like, asking what we would be taking on, because that would then
Mhm.
require vetting and stuff like that. But I want to stay on the timeline. But I think, yeah, Ethan, that would be something awesome to offer,
Yeah.
like, yeah. Yeah. And even if it's like, once a week, I know when, just training and development, like, hey, I want to meet with Ethan or somebody once a week, and I want to practice my conversations for signing up with me. And, they practice that, and, like that could be also something we could offer too.
So you guys know we do currently offer 2 sessions a week in our training calls, and Scobie is offering a peer mentoring where she started last week, and I don't think anybody came. So we are trying to kind of go that direction already, and it's not being utilized. So we would definitely need a campaign to get the word out, to reframe it, I guess, so people see the value there. And
Well, yeah, definitely have to reframe it, because the part of the
Mhm.
reason I have those things on my calendar every month, every week, I ignore
Mhm.
them every week. It
I know.
occurs like
Yeah.
something I'm supposed to do if I'm hosting or if I'm in my training. It doesn't seem like a support to me. And so I can talk to you offline about like how that's a little different than I think even what Ethan and I are talking about.
No, yeah, coaching.
Mhm. Well, no,
I
coach,
think it's a great
we're
option.
talking, there's actually 3 options here. There's,
Mhm.
well, 4: the mentoring, the coaching,
Mhm.
the peer support, and then like the standing um conversation. But I think we're a little off the timeline.
Okay.
So we'll kind of look at it and see what we can. I don't know, I don't promise a full proposal by the next
No,
um
no.
but I will propose some ideas, and I will take what you guys have said here, and we'll kick it around and see if we can put it in our
Yeah.
catalog and do a mock-up. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be great. And with that, let's move to what you're doing with the DIC team, Topeka, and what you wanted to propose, a pay scale, or what answers, or what you wanted to discuss, so we can give you some answers.
Yeah, well, right now that kind of answers it, right? Like, how do I, because what we're doing right now
Mhm.
is we have looked at, we still do not have somebody for the diversity team. Like, there's no diversity team. So I may have to revoke our promise in the area of diversity, but inclusion is doing well. Um, and I really acknowledge Keely for supporting Les, and probably eventually supporting me in learning how to do the Roku and things like that. So she's been extraordinary, and her team is with Autumn, and they are, each team um, is or was, I'll have to check in with Les, looking at building that catalog, right? Like, here's what we're offering, and we have classes, and our buy-win is July 1st. And we're not necessarily building out the classes right now. We're just getting dates and times for the classes and making sure that we have a built out catalog. So that'll be something that we should have by the time the next board meeting happens, and then we can approve that finally. But I think what I would like to acknowledge my team for is coming together from nothing and creating from nothing. Like, we weren't
Yeah.
given anything, we just kind of created it ourselves. And now we did officially have our first guest to our board meeting, to our meeting last week. So we have people interested in what we're doing. So twice a month we extend our weekly meeting. Keely's in a meeting, and Les and I are early birds. So while Keely's in her other meeting, we meet with like facilitators in the community. And we had that first meeting last week. So that was really awesome. I think we're moving along quite well. And we are on target to have a catalog, nothing more, nothing less, a catalog by July 1st, and we are still causing team members. So that's where we're at. I'll let Keely add, subtract, or change whatever I said. And I think with this new payment structure proposal, that will be helpful to us, that we would have that subscription-based option. I think that will give us a lot more freeway to play with. Like, do we do it $50, $25, or do we include it in the subscription? And since we haven't had a time to meet with our team, I'll take that back to the team. And Keely, do you have anything, or are you good?
The only thing I would add is that I'm excited to we've got 3 people who are probably going to be joining the inclusion team in specific. They're going to meet for the first time next week. And so the inclusion team already has our 101 outline. We've already created something in Rizuku, so we're excited. I do want to talk about how we've extended the merit badge system that we're creating for the catalog. And if I can be allotted like maybe 3 minutes, I think it might be worthwhile to talk about like the year-long, 2-year vision of where it could go if you guys are down for it.
I think we're good. I was planning for the DIC team to take the rest of this meeting, so.
Sweet. So the thought is that we create this set of curriculum, and it's obviously around community care, it's around diversity, and it's around inclusion. And what it builds to is not only bettering and kind of solving all of those challenges that we were talking about within our community and within our training, like the deficits in our training, but we can create all the stuff that we're creating is already white label, right? It is already applicable to anyone who wants to be to have these skills, regardless of whether it's cuddle party or not. And so I could imagine us in a year or so doing a lot of B2B pairings or organization to organization pairings, which is a goal of our organization anyway to expand into in the next couple of years. And so like anything from like in Chicago, we've got a couple of these great like Food Not Bombs organizations, and we've got a couple of like Stop the Block organizations, or we've got like jail relief organizations that are helping when like protesters happen and get arrested, and they give them relief in the next morning and blah, blah, blah. And so what we could do is go to these organizations and say, hey, we have developed a training that's relatively inexpensive. Like maybe someone purchasing one a module is like $20 or something. And we can pair with this organization, and the organization could be like, okay, for our new volunteers, if you are trying to go to the South Side of Chicago, you're required to take the diversity and cultural inclusion modules. And if you're trying to work a pride event, you need to make sure you take the inclusion modules. But they like have our trainings be their litmus for their volunteer organization. So their volunteers go, they buy one of the trainings, and then they're eligible to do the XYZ work, right? Or organizations like different kink organizations or play organizations, right? Like there's a lot of ways that this could expand. And then we generate a list of all of these organizations and businesses and volunteer groups that we partner with that explicitly use our content, our merit badge system. And then when someone goes through the merit badge system and comes out the other side with the merit badge, they get kicked a list of, now you qualify with one of the basic requirements for all of these organizations if you would like to participate in them. So it's advertising for them. They get a lot of bang for their buck because they've just like done a bunch. So like this kind of moving forward, we could also potentially expand this to corporate world, right? Like, okay, this corporate setting hires us and our training and contracts our trainings in some way for different divisions. Maybe Like when I was working at Guaranteed Rate, they would have like I can't remember what they called it, but it was essentially a corporate's a corporate's version of the GSA, right? Like the Gay Straight Alliance for a corporation, right? And like, okay, so you're going to do that. You're going to establish this for your corporation, have all your employees who want to join this like sub team or subgroup within your corporation take our inclusion training, and then they contract us with like large sum monies, and we just give them unlimited access to this thing if they're like give us $3,000 or something.
No, and this is why I love my team, right? Like, this is why I love us, because we're constantly looking into the future. And what I want to say is we already have one of those organizations because of the crossover that I'm doing with IISE. They actually have made a request, and we just haven't had a board meeting or whatever to meet with us to that end. Maybe not to the merit badge conversation, but they are very much in the sexual empowerment space, right? Like their work is very sexual and ours is not. But in the summit that they're doing in the spring, one of the things that they're looking at, that one of my tasks this week, my accomplishments this week, is to theme out 7 days of like what the themes would be for a liberated sexuality. And one of the first things I said was consent. Like consent would be a huge piece of a society that was sexually liberated. And I did that with the intention of now being able to bring in speakers like Keely, speakers that, specifically speak to consent. And that would then give them a platform to say, hey, I am, I've worked with Cuddle Party, or I've gone through this training or whatever. And so I'm also looking at the long term. So what I'm saying is, inside of the merit badge system, because of the work that I'm doing, we already have places and spaces of access across the board because of what Keely's doing. There are places and spaces that she's aware of. Right now, my Unitarian Universalist Church, and Unitarian Universalist churches everywhere, they've taken on this thing called the eighth principle. The eighth principle speaks specifically to race and bringing in race equity into churches. And so that would be a space that we could say, hey, we're doing this work. You don't have to, let us do this work for like your leaders and train your leaders. And then, working that way. So I think that the potential that we're bringing is vast, and it's now. Like I just haven't had a chance to talk to you, Mary, about the fact that IISE has asked to meet with us, and specifically you. And like, and so I wanted to make sure that we had our ducks in the row, as far as like our catalog and stuff like that. But they've already asked, like, can we create, is there a partnership available? Where, they take on the sexual stuff and we take on the non-sexual stuff. So then that frees up their resources and allows them to focus on sexual empowerment, and then kicks us back to like the world of consent and communication and like that. So I just, I couldn't be happier with what is happening on this team. And I have at least one or two people. I have one definite, she had a family crisis. Her boyfriend was hit by a truck, so she could not be on. Yeah, he's in the hospital. So I do have at least one person looking. I have another person asking about the diversity team. And that's why I was wondering what was going on with William, because there was a conversation about the diversity leader being a trackable person of color. And I didn't know if that was upsetting to William, because I know there was a time when that was a point of contention. So, but other than that, I really think, and I just want to pause here and let Mary and Ethan and Cassie kind of give us feedback on what you're hearing that we're ultimately up to.
Yeah, and what I heard is we want to work to partnerships and offering deliverables to businesses, but then also helping them grow too, which is great. I think it's a wonderful idea, Keely, that you outlined. Yeah, I'd love to grow into that. I think it's a ways off, but I do think it's definitely something we need to keep in mind to build capacity for that, for sure. and think about that for the future.
Well,
And
there's, you know, I'm sorry, there's models like, I know somebody on Alignable. So I don't know that it's too far off. I don't, Mary. I think, um, I think it could happen as early as the beginning of next year.
oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't mean
Okay, I
like
don't,
5, and not like 5 years off, but maybe like within a year. Is
yeah,
what I was
within the
thinking.
year.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be great if we got there within a year. I would be ecstatic. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to say that, and yeah.
cool. Um, yeah, I want to
Well,
be building things that a little, I do feel like what I've learned working here is that we do baby steps, which is great, but we build a baby step with capacity to have all these other things come into it, right? As we keep moving and growing. But if we go over this way, then there's no capacity for this other stuff. So having the vision of where we're going is really important. Does
well,
that make
yeah,
sense?
and it does, and that's where like the subscription model actually supports what we're up to, because one of the first things that I was saying is, you know, not only working with businesses, but also you know, don't leave out ASEC and continuing education credits and things like that for other, like not only are we vetting you in this direction, but then also becoming continuing education certified. Like there are different places and spaces, because right now people are like governments and companies, ups and downs, are gutting DEI offices. They're like, you know, they're afraid of whatever. So those offices and those funds are being gutted. Well, because we are what we are, nobody's coming to gut us. Nobody's coming to cut those programs off. So if people have the capacity to outsource, then that's one of the things that would make us available as an outsourcing space. And then as I go into my ICF certification, which would then give me access to become ICF, you know, accredited and all those things down the path, then we can even bring some of that ICF stuff over. And only because the International Coaching Federation is international, and it would then allow us to tap into that market. How do we then bring these credit hours and these structures into what is required as an ICF certified service? So there's lots and lots of ways that this could really pan out. Not just, you know, not to be stepped over, right? But like I have different people who also want to create content. Like I have a safety expert. They do safety plans. And I'm like, you know what? We need you to do some safety plan classes for cuddle party events. And like when I'm talking about safety plan, I'm talking about like evacuating buildings in case there's an emergency, like safety plans and that kind of training. What do you do if there's an emergency? And then also I was talking to her about some BDSM stuff, but definitely I see organizations then also wanting to offer us classes, and that we don't have to do that work by ourselves.
Yeah.
So
that was actually my job. I worked for the environmental health and safety department at a university for 22 years, and we managed the emergency planning for the university. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of background there. But,
and so then Mary, maybe you host a class on like that and like really bring that, you know, work in. So that's what we're up to. Ethan or
Okay.
Cassie, do you guys have anything? Thank you, Keely.
Oh, I just want to say, you know, anything that's moving this organization towards solvency and within its vision, you know, I think is great. The continuing ed, there's all kinds of fields that need some kind of continuing ed, and if we can get certified to be able to offer that, I think that's fabulous. And we definitely need this training within the facilitator training, just all the DEI stuff, because we're in an environment right now that it's being targeted, and as an organization, I think that we get to stand behind it, and and just take our stand that this is not something that we're going to let go of. So I appreciate everything that you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's the best of times and worst of times in DEI, right? Like it's being gutted, but if you can stand alone, it would be great. Ethan, I got your communication, so I want to make sure that we check in with you. So yeah.
I don't have a lot of specific things. It sounds like some really, really cool opportunities that you're putting together, and I think you and Keely do really, really good work. So definitely feel good about everything that you've been sharing. I don't think I have any valuable like specific comment on it in this moment, but yeah, I think partially because I know we've talked about having sexual as well as non-sexual education and components, and because we don't have that sexual component already embedded in, the idea of complementary partnerships as well, particularly in that space, seem really good. Especially if there are clear, if there's a partnership that comes with a really clear request and a really clear sense of like, oh my gosh, we want this. And then it's also like, we want this, and there are resources to support that thing. If you guys could provide us a really good version of that thing, that could probably also help direct towards the solvency that Cassie was talking about, but just in general, direct some of the products and services. It sounds great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. IISE is still kind of getting themselves sorted. And I think that we could definitely be a very clear side by side, like, we're very clearly this, you're very clearly that, kind of conversation. And it came from like, I'm looking for content for both. And I put both on like one form. And I'm like, here, if you're interested in this, if you're interested in that. And like, that was like, oh, for ease for myself, but also for, and that gave exposure to both. So I think they're very clear cut. I think they're very like, we can create that clear delineation and create a partnership, right? And I think being part of their summit would be good exposure for us. Like down at the bottom, like, in partnership with Cuddle Party, especially if one of the theme days is consent, right? And communication. So I think that could be really, really great.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So I will reach out to Mary. I will reach out to them. I will see what works with them. And then, we'll come together and see what works as far as bringing those together. We don't have much else.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need the full, we don't need another 30 minutes unless Keely has something else. I think we really kind of talked about what we would have talked about already. So we're good to complete.
The only thing I'll add is that it's not time sensitive by any means, and I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I have every intention of going in, creating a duplicate to our facilitator training in Rizuku, and just altering everything to be play party specific. I think that would take maybe a weekend, and then we would potentially have an entire other training to market to an entirely new thing with a low bar of entry. So I'm just letting you know that that's a thing that's in my radar, just changing it to all be around sex inclusivity. Again, I would not launch anything. I would just like create the copy as a draft and then it'd be up for approval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and I know that I'm looking at bringing the results that I've been getting from this Cuddle Sutra intro. I really want to share this work with Cuddle Party. It is Cuddle specific, and I started my next new one, and like we didn't even get through the first session, and we were having breakthroughs all over the place. And I think if I could train, facilitators in, offering these kinds of conversations to their inside of what they're facilitating, right? It would make a difference in what people are being able to get out of the space. Yeah. I'm often moved. I'm often moved by like just discussing and sharing the word cuddle the way that I create it. It's phenomenal. It's like I struggle with like saying what people are getting out of it because it's like it doesn't sound humble. But yeah. So
You don't need to sound humble for me.
okay. What were you saying? What were you saying, Keely?
Oh, I said, fuck humility.
Yeah, no, it's rocking people's lives. It's rocking
Mm.
people's lives to the core.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
if we can include even just a little bit, like if I can put this in the hands of multiple people, we like the work that I'm doing blows me away every time I do a course.
Great.
Yeah.
Then sounds like you're doing the right thing. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Okay.
I made a man cry yesterday. From just the release of looking at what he had been taught or not taught about cuddling in the first session.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I'm good. So if you guys want to reclaim the last 30 minutes, I'm good. We're good.
All right. I think we're good. I'm good. Does anybody else have anything you need to bring up?
Ethan has to leave anyway. So Cassie, are you good?
I'm good. Yeah, my ladies are gonna be out here in just a minute, so I'm all good.
Get a free half hour back. So thanks, you guys. Appreciate everybody coming, and
Thank you.
it's like we're ready to move on to the next thing. Okay. Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Appreciate y'all. Bye.
Oh, Mary,
Yes.
leader to
stick on.
leader, I had a question
Yeah.
about clocking time.
Okay.
You asked us last time to make sure we were clocking our time, and I tried to use this like home-based tracking system. Do you have a different like clocking system that I could use for my team?
Well, I have a form that you can put your time in on if that helps you. It's a Google form. So you can enter it there and record it. But the way I record mine is I just have a spreadsheet that I just, when I remember, I go in there and say, I just say I work 4 hours or I work from 1 to 4 or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
send me the Google form because I'm trying to find a universal place for us to put our hours so that I can
Mhm.
also be just aware and the source of that as the leader. So yeah.
Sure. I know people were not liking the form, but here I'll let me get you the link right now. Actually, have it here. If I put it in the chat, is that useful for you, or do you want me to email it?
No, because I'm on my text. Just email it. That's more useful.
Email it? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do that right now.
Perfect. Thank you.
Is there a
And then
tracking app or something that you
I would
would
use,
recommend?
yeah, it's called Home Base. And
Okay.
it's like an employee. It's purple. It's purple. It's not Home Base UK. I think Les stumbled upon that. So I can respond in the email. I think
Yeah.
like $30 or $50 a month. I'm not sure. But like
Okay.
it's like like if we get the app, people can
Mhm.
just sign in on their phone.
Okay. Well, I'm
Like you
open to
would like
looking
a
at it.
McDonald's.
I am resistant to spending money right now, but but I want to look at everything. I'm
Well,
always
and
open to yes.
Yeah, I've been trying to do what I can for free, and maybe I just need to spend more time with it because what we would be paying for, we don't actually need, right? Like it does payroll, it does all these things, and we don't
Oh yeah.
actually need that. We just need a place to universally clock everybody's hours. And
Right.
so I'll send it over to you. I'll spend some more time with it. Because
Okay.
I think what happened was I was playing with it during a free trial, and then the free trial went away, and it was like, oh, this is harder than I thought it was. So I'll see if I can create, but it's really nice to just have it where you just sign in, right? And maybe I know that Taste Kitchen, we volunteer, my son and I, we volunteer with a soup kitchen. Great
Uh-huh.
concept. It's pay as you pay what you can, pay what you want, sit down restaurant. And
Oh,
they
okay.
have it's super cool. It's, like if you only have 14 cents and you just pay 14 cents, and it's a nonprofit organization. It's pretty awesome. Alexa, stop. And we volunteer, and when we come in, there's a laptop that we sign in on. So I know that there's trackable systems that will do that. So I'll be in that inquiry.
Okay. Yeah, I just pulled up home base. Yeah, it says there's a free basic plan with a timesheet and a time clock. So maybe it would be free to use. I'll look at it a little more once we get off. That'd be
Yeah,
cool. And
and
yeah,
I think where I think what it is that yeah, see, the mobile time clock is the one that allows, but that requires an upgrade. And
Mm.
it's $24, it's $25 a month.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'd have to look. I'd have to look. I don't know. I'd have to maybe play around with them. The other thing I will be doing is sending an invite, like a share email between you and IISC. And so
Okay.
just to introduce the two of you. But like I
Yeah.
said, I wanted to just make sure that was okay. Yeah.
And that's the coaching federation, you said? The International Coaching Federation?
No, no, no. IISC is the um
IFE.
International Institute for Sexual Empowerment. They're also a nonprofit. They're the ones who did I was part of a summit in February. And
Mhm.
after I was part of the summit in February, they asked me to be part of the board. And I'm just basically doing the same things. I'm
Oh.
just doing similar. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just reproducing myself. In fact, even the DEI stuff, I'm like, if I were to do it as a consultant with the church, it's basically just all the same stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, they're like, I'm like, hey, listen, that's okay. I can do
Hopefully
that.
that makes it
But they
easier
did
for
want
you.
to, at least.
Oh, I lost you. That's are you back?
I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
Um,
Is there
give
any
this back. It's
background that I
cutting in
should
and
know
out.
about
Um,
the? Go ahead.
I can't hear you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just send an email. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
It's all
I
right.
hate the internet. But it
Hmm.